Welcome back to another episode of What Blah Blah. We're be seeing episode 32 in this episode. If anything sounds wrong, it's because, I haven't recorded one of these episodes in like 2.5 weeks. So, yes, I've been procrastinating on editing for a while. And I finally got it done last night. So. The first thing that's gonna happen is over here in India. This red country will launch a surprise will launch a surprise invasion, invasion, on this yellow country, trying to unite India, because, well, they can. So their goal is to become as powerful as possible to then take on Bangladesh and defeat them. That's kind of their goal here. And they need to gain power by getting all this industry and everything. Well, not industry, because we haven't got to the, Industrial Revolution yet. We still haven't got there. I'm just gonna say, guys, the year about now, I'm gonna say it's about 1740, 1750. 1750. I can't talk. So that's about the year. I don't know what I said in the previous episodes, but that's what we're gonna roll with. And these guys will quickly make an invasion and will gain territory at rapid rates. And they have occupied a good amount of territory. And then they will go for the encirclement and they will get one. And now there will be a Dunkirk-like situation where they have to escape from the sea as they pack up everybody on boats and they flee, but approximately 50,000 troops are still captured. So, and like 100,000 managed to flee. So that's still good for them. And then they will get more and more land taken. And now their secondary capital city, which is like what will happen when they lose the other one, they'll set it up here. So that's where their new capital is. I'm not gonna, because it's not their actual capital, I'm just gonna have it not be there, but that's where the capital is now. Well, I guess the government moved. So they will completely go straight up and at for it. But then they'll be cut off by these guys. Yeah, they actually fight back. I forgot to tell you that these people will fight back. They don't just die. These guys want to beat them. So they will be like, ooh, free land, let's take that. So they will jump in on this conflict and will attack the yellow country. And will start invading and taking some territory at quick rates as the defences were not there. Well, anymore, because they moved it. After the invasion started, they moved it. And this is all happening within the first 3-ish months of the invasion. So the invasion has really just begun, and they are losing ground at a rapid rate. And who else decides to jump on in this war? Oh yeah, that's right. It's Iran. Iran has joined it in and will now start taking territory from these guys. They're going to join the conflict. And they will they will occupy the northern areas and they will just completely take them. Their goal is to reach the Indian Ocean / like this area, but I don't know the name of. I learned this one, but not this one. Great. Oh my god. These guys, they kind of just collapse. Their government will fall apart, and basically it's just a land grab at the moment. So let's see how they divide up this territory. Okay, so that is how the area will be divided, and this is, well, really ugly. This is like really ugly. But over here in Arabia, you didn't think I forgot about this conflict, right? Because Iran, like, put their focus on that, these guys will manage to push them back slightly, but Iran knew this would happen, so they put all of their stat points, I guess, into defense on this area. So they just maxed it out to an impenetrable fortress. But now that they are back, their military, which is probably like top 10 at the moment, will now launch a special operation called, like, they will make a D-Day like landing in this peninsula here. A peninsula on a peninsula. Is that called a double peninsula? They will rapidly take territory as they didn't expect this sort of landing, and then they will make an encirclement on the coast of about 10,000 troops because, well, nobody was expecting this, nobody's there. So they will manage to take a big amount of territory, but now these guys will have to pull troops. They'll have to pull troops back here to go here to defend, and that will allow for more pushes in these areas, and then when they go back up here, they take more gains down south. So you see the situation we're in here, and then they send them back down south, and then they send them back south, then they lose ground up north. Do you see the problem? So they will go ahead and negotiate a peace treaty. This is a negotiated peace, not a surrender. So let's see the peace treaty. It's a weird peace treaty. They didn't take all the land they'd gotten. They decided instead to just kind of take territory elsewhere, which was really weird. But so they did this, and now they have like naval bases to control the Persian Gulf, which I guess was their goal here. So now these guys and they're just not allowed to have a navy anymore. So that's pretty detrimental. They're not allowed to have a navy. So I mean, yeah. And over here we're gonna have more things happening. The Brown Nation, without a capital, has invaded and taken a little bit of territory from the Purple Nation of Doom. And the Orange team will now also attack the Purple country, and they will take tons of territory as their defences are all in the west. So they will quickly fall to the Orange Nation. The Orange Nation will now take their capital, and they will surrender. And the Red Nation will invade and conquer these two nations here. And well, you see here. And now we have a three-way conflict, as all three nations declare war on each other. Change the colour of this Red Nation because, well, you know, two red nations equal no border. You wouldn't know what the border between them and the Iberian Red Nation is. So yeah, I just kind of fixed that by changing their colour. So the war is declared, and all nations will go, I guess, attacking. As the Orange Nation will launch quick attacks into the Green Nation, seeing as if they can knock them out, they can get a quick and easy route through them to invade the Red team and quickly take them out. So this is their game plan. The Red team will focus also on the southern area of the Green team, but also will invade the Orange team at the same time. Because, the Orange team will put up fortifications, and the Lime team, I guess the Dark Lime team, is that even a colour, will push into the Red team and will take their northern weird areas. And now everyone's kind of focused on the Green team here, because, well, you're being not. And the Orange team just has it out for you, and then these guys are mad that you took this land. So, and then the Orange team will come in, and they will quickly go faster and faster, moving, and they will take the Green team's capital. And then there's an encirclement, and this area will fall, and then the green team falls. And now the orange team will take this area, and they will now storm down as the troops flood over into the red team border. Says the red team. This is called the North African Clash, or I guess war. That's what it's called. The orange team will launch a quick and rapid operation and will cut this offensive off. And now they are fully encircled here. Fully encircled in this area. Now they will fall back and they lose about 50,000 troops. The red team now collapses. The orange team will annex both nations and will form a North African nation. This is a peace treaty. In Europe, the Russians are continuing their invasion of Neutral, as they've made great rapid gains, and they are encircling their encirclements that border Neutral, will come together and decide to end the war by all sending their help to Neutral, as they see Russian aggression as a threat to their sovereignty, as they feel like they're next. So they will work together and all start supplying Neutral, with supplies and maybe some troops. and the Neutral will manage to almost break the encirclement, but will manage to make a small area fall back in this area. They will make them fall back, and then the northern offensive falls, and then the southern one gets cut off, and then they will launch mass offensives into this area, and they will take it back. Neutral is doing stuff. Yay. And Neutral is going to push them back to this kind of area before the front will stalemate for about 5 years, and then they will agree to a peace treaty, which will look something like this. As the Neutral country has lost a big portion of the northern area, and now, after this loss of territory, they will state that they are done being invaded, and that if they even feel like somebody is about to invade them, they will say something about it, I guess. So now they're not really neutral anymore, but because they've been invaded so many times. It's a miracle they're even here. Really, they've been invaded so many times. And Neutral will now build up their military more. Yes, even more. And now there will be a new union between a few nations. These 3 states there will be a union between these 3 states with surprisingly triple capitals. I promise this one will actually last this time. and the triple capitals will form this Chinese union. Any nations can join, so they're just a union. I don't know what else you want me to say. And in the Horn of Africa update, in the Horn of Africa update this week, we will have the purple nation will push into the green team, but they will have a massive breakaway in the southern areas. This breakaway will now have a breakaway. This breakaway has a breakaway. Weird. And then these breakaways will have another breakaway. And this breakaway has another breakaway. Yay. Yeah. Horn of Africa update. Done. Over here we will have the Chinese country invading, well, invading the Green Nation, as they can, so they do. They invade the Green Nation and kind of just immediately take it, because I mean, what are they gonna do? And then they will also invade from their like puppet state, and they will quickly hit the capital and well take the nation. Great. And then they will annex this one, surprisingly enough. They will annex it into them. So they went up this way, they lost that. Then they go up this way? What? It seems very clear that they want like all of this land. So yeah. And they are still allied to the Bangladesh nation, which is probably the longest standing alliance at the moment. Sorry to tell you that it's about to break. So yeah, on the border of these two nations, about here, there will be some Chinese like troops that kind of open fire on these guys. They kind of open fire on the Bangladesh troops, and this is seen as the act of invasion by Bangladesh. So Bangladesh will say, bro, what the hell? And then they will declare war on China. So, well, yeah. Great job, China. China, I'm pretty sure, is still weaker than Bangladesh. But if a certain Vietnam decided to join, this could change the entire game. But Bangladesh will see it, and they will send their forces in to Chinese territory, which China's like, what the hell? And then they will say, did you not get the message that we declared war on you because you kind of attacked us? And China is like, bruh. and they are like confused how like this alliance that's been here for like 1,000 years can just be broken that easily. But I don't know, get some better allies, trying to. And Vietnam will now join on the side of nobody, as Vietnam wants to regain every bit of territory it's ever lost, even though it hasn't had them for like 500 years. Their empire, well, kind of an empire. And then they will take more territory from these guys, as nobody was really expecting them to join, because, well, you kind of kicked your ass in the wall like 400 years ago. Wasn't it? No, I think it was like 700 years ago. I don't even know. I don't even know. But China will now lose more territory. But China will manage to pull out a miracle and make an encirclement of this fort, and then it will die. So, well, yeah. And then China will manage to push them back out of their territory, and will put them on what we call the run. As Bangladesh troops are falling, as they fall back to more defensible positions. And you know how earlier we said how this red team was looking to take out Bangladesh? They are watching the situation very closely to see if they want to get involved in this, as they see it as a good opportunity to take down Bangladesh. But they will only do it if they see that these guys start like losing, like badly losing, so they could kind of take it. But they don't. They know that the tides of war can change at any second, so they're waiting a few months, and the front will stalemate, as these guys have got the assistance of, well, like everybody down here, because, well, they hate these guys. If you don't remember, these guys were all controlled by these guys, like at some point. So they don't really like him or them. They don't really like them, but so yeah, they just don't like them. But Bangladesh will steadily lose more and more ground until, well, they're on the run again. So, and this is when the red the Red Indians, I guess Red Indian Nation, will make their move. They will send a force of 50,000 troops into Bangladesh territory. They will quickly occupy a vast amount of territories, getting really close to the Bangladeshi capital. See, as Bangladesh didn't expect such a attack, they thought they were chill for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know either. So Bangladesh is kind of screwed. You know, they are very old, from like 10 they're from like 20 episodes ago, my god. But they are collapsing at the moment as they quickly lose territory to this red nation, and then China will launch an attack from their puppet state into their territory, which makes the situation even worse for these guys. And the worst has yet to come, because here in the north of the nation, and they are big, like a big breakaway. They will work with India and allow their access, and then India will use this to cut the Bangladeshis off. By here, they'll cut the Bangladesh troops off. They will do something similar here, and then they will take the areas, and shortly after, Bangladesh's capital falls, and Bangladesh will soon, and then the rest of the nation will follow shortly behind. So yeah, big here. Let's look at the peace treaty. That is a peace treaty, as the rebellions have gained their independence, and the capital will be right there. Bangladesh, you can see, still exists, but they are like a fraction of their former size. They used to be the third most powerful nation on the planet, but now they are dead last. Oh yeah, did I forget to tell you, they also lost this area and I just forgot to remove it. So yeah, as India has finally got their revenge, and the Orange Puppet State of China got so much territory out of this. China didn't really want to take any of it because they didn't want to have lots of different ethnicities in their nation, so they just gave it to the puppet state, so they didn't have to deal with it. And well, this is something. Breakaway state will appear from these two areas, as I feel like we've had too many nations dying in this episode, and we haven't had enough new ones. They have a really weird connection to the ocean state, and they will have a breakaway state in the northern parts of the nation, as these areas were being areas that didn't really want to be a part of them. And if you remember, these were the parts that were a part of the the yellow team. So they will break away and form their own purple nation. As their economy kind of crashed when they were incorporated into India. The economy just kind of crashed, and they rather it not crash, so they leave. And if you're wondering who owns this area, how the hell did you notice that? I don't actually know who originally owned it, so I just gave it to these guys because I think the original nation that owned it died, and I forgot to get rid of it. I don't know. I don't know. But in here, over in Europe, the Russians will take a chance to regain some of their old territories. They will invade this newly freed Finland state, as well as this one. So they will be forced to work together to stop the Russian invasion of, well, their territory. Russia is doing Russia things, and they will make surprising gains. And their game plan here is that if they can go through, take this out, they can go straight up and take here, and it's a pretty solid plan. As they will launch straight toward the capital city, they will take the capital city, and just as they'd hoped, Finland surrenders. And shortly after, they will manage to use this territory that they've gotten from the surrender, and they will manage to attack and take this area, and new nation surrenders. So let's look at the peace treaty. This is the peace treaty. They are both completely annexed into Russia. I don't really know what you expected, honestly, as Russia is doing Russia things. So, well, yeah. Russia will see something good to do, I guess. Not good, but they will form an alliance. Yep, they do those with Japan of all nations. Why Japan? Because they want access to the Pacific Ocean, and they both have interest in this area that they could help each other with. Russia doesn't really like this union, and Japan doesn't really like Korea, so they want to get rid of it, and so does Russia. So they have common interests, so they'll form an alliance. And yeah, that's going to be the last thing of this episode, guys, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in a week.